Silence. Then the crackling of wind. A voice from off-screen. Imagine standing alone in the vast emptiness of Utah. The sun has just set. No one around for miles, only the sound of the dry prairie. And then, a light flickers in midair. Silent, weightless, and it's coming closer. You reach for your phone, but the screen stays black. You try to run, but your legs feel like lead. Welcome to Skinwalker Ranch, a place that watches and responds.
Lost places. Remote viewing. Research. Expeditions. Paranormal. Supported by Into the Matrix. Remote viewing. The TrueWomenShow.
Skinwalker Ranch is not a myth. It exists. Geographically traceable, legally protected, and surrounded by a fence meant to keep more than just animals out. This remote property in northeastern Utah is considered one of the most mysterious places in the world. For decades, people have reported lights in the sky, mutilated animals, strange beings, electromagnetic disturbances, and a feeling they can't explain. At the same time, scientists with PhDs, military backgrounds, and advanced equipment work at the site. Why? What makes this place so special that even the US government invested millions to study it? In this episode, we take a closer look, deeper than before. We'll examine what's happening there, what's been documented, and what hasn't. And we'll prepare you for something truly unexpected. The results of a remote viewing session that reveals impressions for which words may not be enough. Skinwalker Ranch lies in what's called the Winter Basin, a vast, dry valley surrounded by high plateaus and rocky ridges. What may seem like a rugged landscape is considered by many native communities to be a spiritual place, a field of power and a boundary between worlds. The term skinwalker comes from Navajo tradition. It refers to a person who, through dark rituals, gains the ability to transform into animals. Not a fable, but a real danger in their mythology. The Navajo don't like to speak about it. The Ute people don't speak about it at all. They simply say, "That land over there, it's not ours. It belongs to something else." In 1994, the Sherman family moved to the ranch, seeking peace, nature, and a place to raise cattle. Instead, they quickly encountered things that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. They reported seeing huge wolf-like creatures walking upright, lights hovering silently in the sky, and then vanishing, doors opening by themselves. One cow was found dissected with surgical precision. No blood, no signs of struggle. The Shermans documented everything meticulously. After 2 years, they gave up, but the story was just beginning. Because the new owner was no ordinary buyer, billionaire Robert Bigelow. Aerospace entrepreneur, science funder, and UFO researcher. He founded an institute specifically to investigate the site, the National Institute for Discovery Science, NIDS. What happened in the following years remains largely classified. Researchers installed sensors, cameras, motion detectors, and radiation-sensitive equipment. But whenever a phenomenon was observed, the instruments would fail, or the phenomenon would vanish. It's as if the site does not want to be observed, and resists when someone tries. In 2017, it became public knowledge what many had long suspected. The US Department of Defense was involved. Through a secret program called AATIP, more than $22 million were funneled into the study of UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena. A significant portion of that funding went straight to Skinwalker Ranch, funding research, personnel, and infrastructure. The results? Largely still classified to this day. What we do know, the Pentagon had a serious interest in what was happening there. The list of documented events reads like a movie script, except it's signed by physicists, pilots, and security officers. Reports mention glowing orbs disappearing underground, shadowy figures suddenly appearing and vanishing in the next moment, GPS interference, magnetic spikes, entire power systems failing. People report sudden nausea, chest pressure, and a strong sense of not being alone. Animals panic without any visible reason. And then there's the one phenomenon that deeply unsettled researchers: the hitchhiker effect. People who visited the ranch later experienced similar phenomena in their own homes. Shadows, sounds, nightmares, as if something had latched onto them and didn't let go. Since 2016, the ranch has been owned by entrepreneur Brandon Fugel. He took a new approach, allowing a film crew on site. In the History Channel series The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, a multidisciplinary research team is documented during their investigations. Recurring phenomena are analyzed using modern methods: ground-penetrating radar, aerial surveillance, electromagnetic sensors, and high-frequency equipment. And once again, the pattern repeats. The phenomena resist measurement. They shift the moment you try to pin them down. Lead scientist Dr. Travis Taylor put it this way: either it's coincidence squared, or we're dealing with something more intelligent than we are. So what remains when technology fails? Consciousness. The team at Into the Matrix took that path. They connected with the ranch through remote viewing, a structured method for perception beyond the senses. The question was no longer, what is there? But rather who, why, and how does it feel? The results are not simple data points. They are impressions, images, emotions, profound, unsettling, enigmatic. One of the most conspicuous areas on Skinwalker Ranch has an inconspicuous name: the Triangle, a simple patch of grass enclosed by 3 fences, barely the size of a football field. And yet, it is here that a central cluster of the ranch's unexplained phenomena occurs. In this part of the property, unusually high levels of ionizing radiation have been measured. Aerial drones suddenly lose orientation mid-flight, as if their GPS loses contact with reality. Technology fails precisely here. Radios cut out, data readings derail, and those who enter this zone report physical effects: pressure in the head, disorientation, and even the impression that space itself becomes denser or energetically charged. It's a place where light appears to refract strangely, as if an invisible wall hangs in the air. A location that alters things without any visible cause. To approach these phenomena differently, we tasked 2 experienced remote viewers to tune into the Triangle, independently and without any prior information. The goal was to perceive the core cause of the observed anomalies, not through measurement, but through perception. What the 2 described differs in form, but not in essence. Session 1: Technical interference and a monitoring system. The first viewer perceives the field as structured and controlled. He describes a space that doesn't feel chaotic or threatening, but almost sterile, technical, and neutral. At the center of this area, there appears to be a mechanism. The impression evokes a tube-like structure through which something is conducted, processed, or perhaps even filtered. The terms that arise suggest an active process. Something is being collected, refined, redirected. It seems as though this area deliberately regulates something, not by chance, but by design. Like a system that responds once certain conditions are met. Interestingly, the viewer does not perceive this mechanism as foreign or extraterrestrial, but as something that could be of earthly origin. Human-made. Possibly part of an older project that still has effects today, or a system intentionally concealed, with a purpose that is hard for us to grasp. The effect on the viewer is physical and noticeable, unpleasant, but not dangerous. He describes symptoms resembling a reaction to a field disturbance, not life-threatening, but significant enough to take seriously. Session 2: Isolation and Energetic Conflict. The second viewer experiences the target on a very different level. He describes a kind of enclosed space, musty, dark, unwelcoming. Within this space are several people, weak, almost depleted. They do not feel threatening, but lost, as if they're not there by choice. Are you referring to the ranch owners? It gives the impression that these persons were once active and autonomous, but are now held, isolated, restricted, but are now held, isolated, restricted. What contains them seems like a surrounding shell. Something smooth, organic, enveloping them. Not mechanical, but like a living field they cannot pass through. This environment appears not only spatially limiting, but energetically as well. The perception is marked by terms like control, restraint, even punishment. At the same time, a second level appears. Another presence overseeing the isolation. In contrast to the contained persons, this presence feels calm, clear, and orderly. Not hostile, but clearly focused on maintaining structure or stability. There's a sense of conflict. On one side, forces seeking freedom. On the other, a system preventing that, to preserve balance. Two perspectives, one underlying pattern. What both viewers describe in entirely different ways ultimately points to the same thing. The triangle is not a neutral place. It is a space that responds, a zone where something is controlled, contained, or monitored. Whether as a technical system or an energetic mechanism, the result is the same, an intervention in the natural flow. What exactly is being monitored or contained remains unclear. But both sessions suggest that the anomalies observed here, from radiation to spatial distortion, are not random. They are symptoms of a system responding to something we do not yet fully understand. So what is the triangle at Skinwalker Ranch? Just a patch of grass with a curious name? Or an active field, part of a system far older, more intentional, and more conscious than previously assumed? The two remote viewing sessions offer no definitive answer, but they offer something more valuable. A new perspective. A different layer of access, beyond technology and camera lenses. And that's where we'll continue. because the triangle is just one fragment. Skinwalker Ranch holds many unanswered questions. Who is operating there? Why are certain effects recurring? And what does it mean for our understanding of space, consciousness, and reality itself? One thing is certain. The truth is out there, and we are determined to find it. If you enjoyed our video, we would be very grateful for your support, as our work is donation-based. Feel free to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and look forward to another exciting episode of the True Women Show.
Women wake up.